Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome to Free to Play Podcast number 11. I'm here today with a few people, but we're just gonna do some introductions. My name is Paz, and I am rank 291 cooking.
Excellent. I am Freckled Dad. I have sent 0 chat messages this year.
Ooh.
DJ9, 1698 virtual total level, Utis admin.
I'm Charles, and I have 0 EHP this year.
I'm Hasyan Seed, and I'm runecrafting in cow trousers.
I'm Keith Asher, max free to play level 3, and a leader of Team Wahoo.
Okay. All that being said, welcome to the podcast. Let's kick off with question number 1. Scurious was recently added to the game. Original talks about a rat boss were implied to be free to play. Since the development team has stated that during free to play development was never thought of this boss. Do you like the idea of XP being rewarded for bossing? And should Scurious be a free to play boss? What do you think, Key?
The boss, I think, the concept of having like a low mid-level boss is not something I really care for or think is really needed, to be honest. I think it's kind of not necessary, even in the scale of the greater game. I think progression with mobs and whatnot and fighting higher level monsters is fine as it is. I didn't really think there was a point to it. The idea of like it rewarding, what is it? A multiplier on combat XP when you fight it. Is that right?
Yep.
If anyone knows. So I don't know. Like, I feel like it's not really like necessary or has a place in the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when I first went through this update log, it seemed to me like another, if it did come to free to play, like another clue scroll like implementation where you give free to play players a taste of something. I don't think it should ever be like leading in rates or leading in like new techniques, but it is a good game mechanic to get players interested in sticking on OSRS. But I'd have to learn more about what would be free to play, what would not be free to play to get truly behind this.
Yeah, for me, I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was an XP multiplier until today, reading into it. So that's mind-blowing to me, honestly. I didn't realize how high the rate was either. But I don't know if it should be free to play. I like the idea of a low-level boss, because, I mean, there are some people that only play the game to kill bosses. So, I mean, why not be able to progress your combat skills by bossing? I don't know, that I like that idea, but I don't think it should be free to play, at least the multiplier and stuff like that. But I think it would be cool if we could get a boss that isn't locked behind keys or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should have an ice giant boss and not Scurious. That's all.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I guess I'm gonna be the only person that's just gonna be completely different here and say I think the boss is great. I think it's terrible for pay to play. I think it would have been a great free to play boss. Not just for the sake that it would be great XP for free to play, but I think it bridges an excellent gap that could be there for, that, you hit base 40s, you've done Dragon Slayer, you're wanting to get pay to play, but, well, all you can equip is Rune right now anyway, so you don't really care to go members, and it's like, okay, go camp this boss for a little bit, get to base 60s, and decide to, use mom's credit card to get yourself some Dragon Armor when you go pay to play. All right, like I think it's fine, and I also I don't have any like big moral tie to the XP rates in combat XP for free to play. Like I I have no gatekeeping around XP rates of combat XP. I just don't care, right? So like people being like, but it's not free to play to not be sitting at flesh crawlers and spiders. Like, I'd much rather be at a boss fighting it with one account logged in than for myself to be on 3 to 4 accounts in Castle Wars fighting myself and clicking bandages every tick. Like, I don't see why it would be bad, but that's just my take.
Yeah, so I think it's really weird to me that this is currently like one of the best pay to play combat methods when, like, I guess, I don't know, in context to it being like with NMZ being the best at the moment, NMZ is like an incredibly stupid method. I think that it would be really cool if pay to play had some sort of like high skill boss that gave them the best combat XP, maybe like in replacement of a good drop table. I don't think this should be like a free to play thing though. Like free to play killing bosses, I don't think that's very in the spirit of free to play. And I like the way it is to some extent. I don't really like auto retaliate flesh crawlers for our combats either too much, to be honest. I wish it would be more in the spirit of the game rather than that. But yeah, I think the drop table would be fine for free to play, and I think the mechanics are fine for free to play. The gameplay of it looks, fine. Just the XP rates, it would be way too high. I wouldn't want that. So, yeah.
Just to add into this portion, it would also just be cool to have a boss that's not key gated.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like grinding it, that'd be super useful for players trying to get money for bonds. Like if it just dropped a bunch of rune items, which it does. So, yeah, I agree.
And what are your thoughts towards Jagex's current state of false bans and how they've seemingly done nothing to combat this? Top players from both free-to-play and pay-to-play are getting bans, and appeals are getting denied. Are these bans warranted, or do you believe Jagex is severely flawed? We'll start with Frick.
Yeah, so I'm going to start this out with Free Kaka Poo Poo 71. And I'm equal. I'm going to butcher the second portion of his name, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still false banned currently. They've gotten 0 traction from any J mods, and it seems like Twisted was replying for like 1 day to some stuff, and it was just replies to the Twitter individuals that had a decent following or enough activity to even prompt like slight care from the J mods. So like, it's pretty clear that false bans are happening. There's just been a lot of things going on, and I hope that Jagex will, revert on some of these, or come up with something that can happen, because the influx of number of bans is just kind of astronomical in comparison to like any other prior time. I mean, if I log on Twitter and just scroll for one page, I'm going to see somebody talking about their false ban on one of their accounts. And it's just really sad, because there's like players with like tens of thousands of hours getting these false bans too, and it doesn't seem like anything's happening, and I've been seeing people like post daily for like months. So yeah, there's definitely something flawed in the system currently.
Yeah,
they're not reviewing bans.
Kind of my opinion on it is kind of like in the middle, but kind of slightly towards against Jagex. Like when they ban players, they have information that every player doesn't, obviously, right? So they have to be seeing something, right? And a part of me wants to give them the benefit of the doubt, but another part of me knows a lot of players who played legitimately, who have no reason to have a ban, and it's hard to tell, because I don't know. It's like, there'll be tweets about people saying like, "Oh, I would never bot this and that," but it's like no one really knows, right? So it's hard to say, but there, against Jagex slightly, like I definitely know like people who have been banned who have, have no reason to be banned at all, and I don't know. Like I said, like in the middle, but slightly against Jagex on this one.
On that note, I think the bigger problem I have with these particular free-to-play bans is they were banned on the weekend.
Yeah,
it's just like no one was in the office. It's an automated system that caught them, and then just the review was just like they don't review.
Yeah,
right.
But anyways,
yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, you don't know exactly 100% if these people weren't botting or doing some other illicit activity, but I think the fact that there's so many being banned also points to it being like something wrong with their system. And I also just tend to not have any trust in their anti-cheating system, because I think every single person that's played for, several years on their account has likely been banned at some point, at least on some account. I know a few people have around in free-to-play CC, so it's pretty possible to be banned for absolutely no reason. But I know that also that Frank was telling me about how there's like, I guess the RuneLite guy is been helping out Jagex lately with some cheat client users, apparently, from what I've heard. So that could also be part of the reason so many people are being banned, but it's also hard to tell because we don't have that information. But
yeah, it seems like there's been waves of the third-party client abusers. So
yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of like protection for like manual review of accounts that have like a significant amount of hours on them. It just seems to be like these waves of bans that are applied like unanimously to everyone that falls under whatever like thing is flagged. And like I really think there should be like manual like review for these like accounts where clearly like someone has put like a lot of time into it.
Yeah, like rather than like some bot that obviously just made their account and seems to be botting.
Yeah, man, free the guys. I feel like every year there's more and more false bans or potential false bans, but it is terrifying that you could just wake up one day and not be able to log in. That's it. Like, you just don't know if you're ever actually going to be able to get in touch with someone to actually review your account. And it's just like, I mean, hell, most of us have, I mean, I'm sure almost everyone in here has hundreds of days logged into the game. And it's frustrating that it can be taken away from you in a blink of an eye without an answer as to why or why not, But yeah, free Cockapoo, free Equal, free the OG freckled kid. Ugh.
Leftover.
I used AHK. I'm not gonna say I didn't. So
free leftover.
It was false.
It is what it is. It's not a false ban. I 100% did it. So
I mean,
I own up to it.
To kind of like reiterate my point from when I started, what was his name? The kind of like the higher profile Iron Man who got banned like a couple weeks ago. He Iron. Yeah. So after he got banned and how to deal with Jagex, he tweeted out a list of, I don't know, maybe like 2 dozen, 3 dozen people who were banned. I assumed he collected from around the community who have been falsely banned, and like I'm sure like at least a good chunk of them have been like banned unfairly, right? But I think just kind of statistically, it's like who's to say like how can we say like all of them have been false banned? I'm sure like most of them were legitimate, but you just never know with these things. Like, is what I'm trying to say.
Also wanted to point out. Oh, sorry. Can I just say something?
No, you first.
Mid-level Skilla got banned like last year, I think. So
on both of his accounts.
Yep.
And also to highlight another portion to this, all these false bans coming through, and one of my friends, Huba, which I'll give a little shout out here, he noticed that Andrew Wiggins, rank like 82, was botting aerial fishing recently. So that was sent to Jagex Twisted, and it seems like he reviewed it, and it seems like only a temporary ban was applied. Also, the account has 100% been hacked. It's not the original owner.
Yeah.
But
if we take this from a business angle, businesses confident in their technology are willing to share their findings with their customers. And it really sounds like players aren't getting full access to evidence, and there's really no moves by Jagex to actually be held accountable for a fail in their system. If you're trying to build a successful business, you actually ask the community what tools you think should be in place and what practices should be in place. And if Jagex actually believed in what they were doing, they'd maybe consider showing ban reasons publicly as attached with usernames or player portals or whatever. But the fact of the matter, this is a very closed loop system. That sounds like the only way to actually break the closed loop is to have some sort of clout or social awareness behind you. And right now, it really just points out the weakness in the Jagex system for bot detection and anything like that. Technology exists to track your hours at a workplace, your engagement on email and Excel, and it's honestly a shame that Jagex, who's built their own system, can't. So I'll leave it at that. From a business perspective, it's an embarrassment.
True.
Yeah, and to kind of put another note to this, sometimes the anti-cheating team, when they respond, they'll even say what the person was banned for. So like I've seen a ban that somebody was like, please review, and like Twisted or whoever responded being like, yeah, you were using some unauthorized client to 3-tick Granite. And like it's like you literally just told us what he did. It's like, why can't that just be the norm for when these bans happen? Like instead of just being like, yeah, you were banned for macroing, like tell me exactly what they macroed, stuff like that. Because it's like, at the end of the day, players could have ran into this and been like, you know what, I did see this player doing this and it seemed very robotic, and yeah, I can see that it's truthful, or you know, have some sort of connection to that, because otherwise it's just Jagex saying one thing and a player saying another. You'll never believe the player, you'll never also believe Jagex. So it's like, right, transparency exactly would be better.
He said, she said. We need to make the anti-high scores, and it's basically the reason you've been banned, publicly available. All right. The Winter Summit gave us VAR Lemoore parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. What are your opinions on the focus of the new land masses and the content that may bridge low, mid-level brackets?
Yeah, I don't know a ton about VAR Lemoore, but I don't know, like, I think that the map already has like a lot of places that are pretty barren, so it seems like a big like jump to kind of like stop the train of like reworking like places and instead like just add like entire new land masses. And like I worry that it'll be like similar to how Zaya was on release, where it's just like big like square that just got like dragged into the map without like anything on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. This is me the question I can't answer. I don't know a damn thing about this VAR Lemoore, but I say scrap it and then drop Zaya 2 and we'll be good, okay? Thank you.
Retweet. That's a hard cosign.
Oh god.
I mean, I'm pretty much on the same boat. I didn't even know there was up to part 4. I thought it was just the one thing.
That was me memeing on it.
Okay.
They spent like an hour talking about part 1, and then they talked about other stuff, and they talked about part 2 of it. Gotcha. So it was just like part 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12.
Yeah.
It was just me kind of being a troll with this question, but
I mean,
go ahead.
I don't know, just like it kind of talked about with the rap boss question. It's just I don't think there's much of a need to have any more of a connection from low level to mid level stuff. I don't know if that's their goal. Like, I don't really see the point, is all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're talking about, bridging the gap. I had no idea there was a gap in this game until they said that. But I think I'm okay with Varlamore to some extent and Zaya because it gives them a place to put their awful ideas, and better there than like somewhere nostalgic in the game like Varrock, just putting some stupid Coliseum in the middle of Varrock, for example. So
Yeah, for myself, I like that the concept comes from like the community, but that's the only thing I like about it. I I don't care about the like Coliseum side of things. Um, like PVM stuff doesn't intrigue me at all. It's not interesting to me. I'm sure people will have fun with that, but pretty much everything else on this entire island is going to basically land as dead content, or it will be multi-skill content that takes over current existing metas of skilling. So things similar to things like DriftNet being efficient because you're getting fishing plus hunter, and although neither of the rates themselves are better than solo doing it together still saves time, etc., stuff like that. So I think there's probably a side to some of these skilling methods that are going to end up kind of falling into that, and I don't like that. I hate it, and it's kind of, it rolls into the kind of free to play side of tying prayer to skills in EHP and all these other kind of things that are just unnecessarily needed. And yeah, I just think it's bad design.
Respect.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like
Question number 4. I'm sorry.
it's like artifacts, but Hunter Guild. Like
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, is just like I don't see a problem with the hunter skill that much anyway. Like you just do salamanders until chins anyhow. Like I don't see where this is gonna even fit in. Like, is it gonna be better than doing salamanders until you do chins? Is it gonna be better than chins? No? Then like who's gonna do this content? Like I don't know. Like people don't just
Alright.
play the game for fun.
yeah, I
They
think
just they don't. Like if the XP's not there, they're not gonna sit at a skill doing it if it's worse.
yeah, I think the majority of people end up with like birdhouses for low level hunter because it definitely does have like a lot of like outdated stuff in comparison to like other skills, low training, like low level training methods. But
Completely forgot about birdhouses. Yeah, so this entire bit of hunter that they're gonna add in here is probably gonna be irrelevant dead content on release. Amazing. Okay,
yep.
good point.
All right, guys.
Amazing.
Question number 4. The Winter Summit also brought with it an RS3 quest, Wild Gothic Sleeps. What are your thoughts / memories of this quest? And will you do it on an alt / potential for alt GP?
What are my thoughts and memories of this quest? I did this quest like maybe a year or two after it came out. I was like a child, and like I remember like getting frustrated with like the puzzles and being really angry, and I just like kind of like rage quitting until like remember YouTube was a thing and just watching guides and getting through that. And I don't know. I know people talk about like the storyline of the quest or the door or whatever, and it's they enjoy it, but I couldn't even tell you what the quest was about since it's been so long. But just basically just being frustrated while doing it, and if I would do it again in old school as an alter to make GP, I'd try it out. I wouldn't be against it. I like trying new money making methods.
Yeah, I've never done the quest, never killed TDs, if it came to, or if there's like some sort of alt method, I guess I'd try it. But I absolutely hate them recycling content, and like have your own ideas. Like stop taking things from what's already been done. Like this is supposed to be a new game. It's not supposed to be RS3. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I have the like same sentiment around the RS3 like recycling. I never did this quest because I was too little to understand what was going on in RS3 when I played it. I just like mined iron and made like plate bodies or something. So it'll be interesting to do it, but yeah. If there's an alt method, I'll do that probably.
Yeah, for myself, I can't even remember doing the quest. I just remember that obviously we got like the dragon plate, I believe, from this
That's
quest.
claws.
I think it was claws.
He was claws, yeah.
Yeah, claws.
Well, didn't you
It
get like
changed
didn't the reward from the quest give you like lumps of stuff that you could make the dragon plate body originally?
Yeah, it gave you the dragon metal fragment, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
That's what I mean.
Damn.
So like that's about all that I really remember. I don't remember anything of quest, but now that somebody brought up anything about puzzles, just reminds me of how much I hate quest. So like
Quest helper, bro.
I'll probably look at it day one when people do it on stream, and I'll just hope to God that they go to the tormented demons after, and we'll see if that's, you know, AFKable on the side as an ult, and if it's good GP. Otherwise, I'll never touch it. I hate quests with a passion, and I'm not going to do them unless I have to. And with the fact that RS3 GP making is so easy, I don't know why I'd give up swapping, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, I didn't do the quest either. I was pretty big Randy back in the day. I probably got membership like once every 6 months with my mom or dad's credit card. So, I mean, I was not playing membership like that. But yeah, I can't wait to do it on my alt this time around with the quest helper. That's going to be so fun. I have to wait for the guys over there at Runelight HQ to build that up for me, but I can wait.
Oh, 2 days.
That's actually a good point. Just like wait for the plugin always.
It's a click simulator once the plugin's made.
Yeah, I got plenty of time as long as I don't get false banned. You know?
Facts.
Oh my god. Alright. What are your opinions towards the recent wave of RS3 like updates? Do you feel using the same quest lines / potential scaling activities is a good direction for the game? We'll start with you, Howson.
Yeah, I touched on this in the last question, but definitely not. Should be a separate game. That's kind of like the whole point. And like, it's strange that it's going in that direction. It's kind of like, seems to be like, let's try this again, but without the big thing that made everyone leave.
Yeah.
I think it's stinky and poo-poo. It's awful. It's not old school, and I hate it. It's just, you know, like maybe there's some updates that affect other players more than others, but it, you know, updates, RS3-esque updates kind of set like a really bad precedent that, you know, that Jagex could hope could eventually sway the player base to see these updates as okay and make them like the standard when I think they shouldn't be.
Yeah, pretty annoying. I don't like it, but I really am not sure where we'll be in a few years from now. I'm sure it'll just be a complete RS3 remake with old school graphics, if we even have old school graphics. Aren't they releasing HD graphics?
Yeah.
Yeah, the HD's coming out, bro.
There we go. Okay, so I guess we're just waiting for the 04 server to drop. We all swapping?
Go Tanner,
Dino.
go. Go Tanner, go.
Tanner Dino,
Well,
save
Tanner.
us.
Oh, do you have anything to say, Charles? I don't have it open. I guess it's me then.
And so, what are your opinions on the RS3 updates?
Yes, yeah, I know what the question is. Thank you. Okay. I mean, as everyone has stated, I don't know. At the same time, I don't really care about this specific update. It doesn't bother me that much, but just the principle of it, the fact that they feel like it's totally okay to literally copy and paste quests from RS3. When they like from the start, old school, they said that they were going to take a different like storyline, a different like everything to RS3. Like it'll be the same starting point from 2007, but it'll go in a different direction. That's literally what they like talked about when old school came out. And they're not doing that at all anymore. They've just decided to copy and paste RS3 into old school, with the exception of
Dev
EOC,
time, bro.
presumably.
Dev time, bro.
Yeah. It's so frustrating.
Becky?
Yeah, so it seems like everybody's unanimous on this question. I thought we'd get a little bit more
Absolutely not.
diversity. So I'm really happy that everybody's on the same page, because like I was really like, man, you know, if they just made a mining similarity to the forestry update, then you know, it would really revitalize the mining community. And I'm just really happy that everybody else is on the same page. So happy to hear that. But no, in all seriousness, I think what Paz said of just the fact that they were going to go in a different direction, but they've gone in the same RS3 direction, it's kind of unfortunate.
It's cringe.
It would have been neat to see its own kind of story unfold rather than the same story unfold. But at the same point, I also just I've kind of given up on caring about the old school updates. Maybe this is horrible to say, but like we've always been unhappy with what they're going to put out because we want old school to be old school, and I'm just so tired of giving a shit anymore. But ultimately, the skilling activities getting ruined does bug me. But like the other portions that just have zero impact against like my play style, I just care fucking less anymore. Like it's already too far gone.
It's interesting. It's interesting because usually if you have a common mission and you grow your team and you get more resources, you can stick to it. But when the old school team was at its smallest, they were actually doing cool shit, making interesting updates and engaging the community most. That being agility courses, that being community developments, that being other projects that became reality. And it's almost like the more people that subscribe to old school exclusively, the less it resembles old school and the more it starts to resemble RS3. So it's like they're backpedaling a little bit in development, and that's not typical.
Yeah, it feels like the only mistake that Jagex thinks they made was EOC. And they're just making RS3 without EOC.
And hiring the RS3 devs onto their old school team now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, instead of the past, let's talk about the future. What are some of your current 2024 goals? We'll start with DJ.
Okay, so it's February. I'm still trying to figure that out, actually. So I got some things coming up here. Me and my lady are moving into a place here at the end of this month, so I'm gonna have to figure out a nice. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited about it, but I'm gonna have to figure out a nice balance between the old machine and her, of course.
The old machine.
But the old machine
is the old machine
machine.
Is that referring to the lady in RuneScape, her, or what? What's,
RuneScape is her.
The machine is my
RuneScape's
terrible
RuneScape.
Mac that can't even run
Oh.
Chrome remote. So right now, I'm just woodcutting at the U's. I mean, I wake up and I log in before I go to work, and I'll smack flesh crawlers on the way because I don't have to look at my phone. And I get to work and I go right to the U's, and I stay there for freaking 9 hours, and then come right home. And I mean, I've logged in like 16 hours a day, getting like 3 or 4 EHP a day. If that tells you anything.
So DJ,
Sorry, no.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
Say you're averaging 3 to 4 EHP a day. What do you think that rate will become after the move-in?
That's a good question, dude. I mean, I don't know. So,
He
like,
still has
how
to go to
we're
work for 9 hours a day, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
not going to change. I'm still the majority of my stuff is done at work these days, but like during the weekends, she lives pretty far, so I have to go, or she'll come here, but it's like a 2-hour trip there or here, so I don't log in usually when she's here unless she's like sleeping or whatever the case is, but hoping that I'll have a little bit of my weekends back because she has to work some weekends. So that's cool. It's not like we're going to be together every single second of the day, but I don't know what my real plan is. I'm just going to have to see how that goes, and I'm probably going to do like a lot of chopping and ponding. It's really all I got, though. I just have been focused on wood cutting right now.
Hell yeah. Frankie?
Yeah. This is one of those questions I put in there that like I've struggled with for a while now. Goals in RuneScape just haven't been there for me anymore. Like I don't make any anymore. After getting 200 mil rune crafting, nothing has sunk in. Like, I don't care to sit at a skill long enough to do anything, but I have stated that I'd like to get 200 mil prayer. I don't know if it's really doable this year, but it's kind of a goal of mine. But it like averages out to being like 4.5 hours a day minimum of prayer, and it's just like, it's not always feasible to do prayer, obviously, during your work day, so it's like, ultimately the time frame of when I'm gonna play is gonna be like late at night, and it's like, if it's, you know, my time of jumping on to actively be at the PC when it's post-work is like 9 p.m. or so, so it's like, I'm gonna get 2 to 3 hours in before I go to bed, and it's just like, am I really gonna want to click Ashes and Bones every single day at that period? Probably not. So
Are you saying Jagex should implement prayer bonfires?
I'm not saying this, but
But
prayer is a shitty skill. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I haven't even like been fully focused into prayer, and what day that I log in, that's what I'm gonna do for the majority of the day, like a weekend or something where, you know, I'm free to play. I get just absolutely drained halfway through the day. I'm just like, fucking hate it. Shit skill.
Just do skills you like, bro.
True. My current 2024 goals: fame, money, and power, and Xbox. I'm kind of with Freck. I kind of don't really set specific goals for myself. I kind of found out a long time ago that I'm kind of like the person that if I do say I'm gonna do something, I end up not doing it. So I don't want to say anything specific, but I've been smithing a lot recently, and I just hit 105 mil XP today, and I would like to get 200 mil before the halfway point of the year, so that's probably the closest thing to a goal as of right now that I can confidently say I'll do. but outside of that, number up.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have any time constrained goals this year. I think I probably will hit 200 mil range by the end of the year, but as for woodcutting, probably not. I'm just going to keep playing the game whenever I feel like logging in and gain XP whenever I feel like it. So, yep.
Right, my plans right now, obviously I'm like really close to max. So I'm gonna finish max and then I'll probably just like move on to Bibles and making like 50 gazillion RS3 alts. And then like see where I go from there.
As a few of you may know, I'm not exactly EHP motivated. I've been chasing that IRL EHP. I feel like we're about to have a very good year or two ahead of us. So what I'm doing is I'm front-loading the IRL EHP in order to make room for more RuneScape EHP. So ask me this question in 1 year, and we should be good to go.
Let's go. I'm
Nice.
surprised no one's
Speaking of-
answer was not get banned.
Oh, shoot.
Survive. Just become Twitter famous. You'll be fine.
True.
All right.
Just get streamer privilege.
What? Well, hey, actually, how many subscribers or how many viewers do you think that clicks on it? Is it 100 viewers, 1,000 viewers a day? When does that privilege, do you think, come into effect?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
Maybe we should run the stats.
I'd say, like, yeah, that's actually good. You could do a good visualization of that, Freck. When does Jagex listen? All right. What was the
Well,
greatest?
we know that
achievement
answer.
of 2023. Never. What was the greatest free-to-play achievement of 2023 in your opinion, or just accomplishments that you'd love to shout out?
The very obvious answer is Freck's 200 mil rune crafting.
Oh yeah, I did
Spot
do
on the
that
wiki
in
page.
2023, didn't I? Did I do that in
Yeah.
2023? I did
Yeah.
finish it in 2023. Okay, shit.
You did, yeah.
I would like to say Keep Asher's 74 million smithing party.
Woohoo!
That was pretty huge. Those who were there know.
I was there. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, obvious answer, Frex 200 mil RC. Other obvious answer, mid-level skill is 25 mil RC. And then I was going to say, since those are obvious answers, I was going to say keep Asher's maxed level 3.
GG, y'all.
TY.
Yeah, so the 200 mil RC. Kidding.
I'm the
Imagine
best.
I just vote for myself. Like, what? Jeez, that'd be savage. I kind of forgot that I finished RC in 2023. I thought it for some reason it was like the end of 2022, but no, it was like March or something of 2023, right? So I don't know. I'd have to look at the wiki page to know exactly when I finished that skill. But I would probably have to say mid-level Skilla completing Ruined Mysteries. That was pretty big.
You did?
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
so.
Yeah, first thing after he got his goal.
Yeah.
No more
Yeah.
need.
But no, like just jokes aside, on those kinds of memes and stuff is just I just have to say, like, I don't know what I want to put in here as an achievement, but like the free to play community itself, it seems like the hours being played from like a decent amount of us seems to be raising. So like as a clan and as like just free to play in whole, as a, like a whole, I'm just happy to see the achievement of players like becoming more active again. Because for
Thank
the
you,
last
Franklin.
couple of years, it's been a little dead.
And in
Also-
pay to play as well, not just free to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Barto breaking the AFK only build. That was pretty big.
True.
I mean, on everyone else has kind of said at this point, Frex 200 mil RC. I mean, just the gap between you and the second person with the most RC XP in free to play mid level is kind of a crazy thing. I don't think I need to elaborate much more on that.
Yeah, I mean, of course the RC, of course, sure, but did we forget about Backwood Bob 9, guys?
Oh, snap!
That man is
wait. That was this year? That was this year, wasn't
it? No.
Yeah, that was this year.
What are you talking about?
No. It was January.
Day record was 37 days ago. Week record ended 31 days ago.
Wow.
So he started that right after Christmas. What a beast.
Backwood Bob.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, what skill is this?
Mining. He beat all my records with ease.
Mining. Oh my god. Is he going for the month?
He did do a month and he didn't even finish it and he still beat me.
He had half a month.
Oh my god.
Just didn't bother to finish the one.
Yeah.
What did you... Speaking of pause, seeing that pause has achieved 50% of the way to 200 mil all for free to play, who do you think the first 3 players to achieve 200 mil all will be? Furthermore, for those who may not be in the top, do you think there's space for players to still be in contention for first 200 mil all?
I think it's hard to say. What did you say? Pause. Yes.
No. Yeah. Please go. Sorry.
I think it's hard to say exactly who, because you never know with the inconsistency of IRL situations and just personal motivation towards the game in general. So it's hard to say exactly, but I would say the likely contenders currently probably FTP Agile and Bardo, probably 1 and 2. Either one could be number 1, either one could be number 2. I don't really know, but both extremely consistent. And I think Freck is also a likelihood of top 3 as well. Could be in any of those positions if he continues playing the way he is. So, as for new players, would there be a place for them on the top whatever? I think it's possible. Top 3 might be extremely difficult, but I think top 5 is definitely doable for someone starting right now. But yeah, don't lose hope if you're just starting your free to play account now. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to copy and paste your exact answers. I mean, I really don't know, like you said, but I do know that I would love to be there. I would love to still be at least playing the games somewhat when the first person gets it, and I'd love to be at that party.
For my top 3, I mean, honestly, it's the same list, just Agile and Bardo and Freck. I mean, I'd put Pause in there if he didn't quit mining, but it's come back to it and we can talk about it again. As for if there's space for players to still contend to be first to 200 mil, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I don't think, definitely, like Paul said, top 3 might be tough, but, the whole front page basically is up for grabs, even for anyone, let's say even a couple years down the line from now, can still contend for front page free to play. So don't lose hope.
Yeah, top 2 right now just hit halfway to 200 mil all, so there's plenty of time left.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that maybe Netbook could do it. Maybe. But yeah, those are the definite obvious answers. I think Freck will definitely get it, because Freck's gaming. Yeah, Free to Play Jill and Barto are both like very consistent players with like a lot of money. So I think they'll finish.
Yeah, I'll kind of go in a little bit of a different direction for a lot of this, but I kind of agree that yes, Free to Play Jill and Bardo are 100% going to finish. I have no idea when that timeline will be. Um, Both have kind of always taken the AFK-ish approach to the skills that they end up doing. I know that they've started to kind of be a little bit more engaged into actively playing the game with certain skills, which is just nice to see. But like they still, I don't think that they really engage in like tick manipulation methods and things like that. So um, we'll have to see. But they're miles ahead of where people like myself are at. So um, their level of consistency of play, I 100% believe that they'll finish. And like all it takes for somebody that plays to a level of, doing efficient methods is just to simply burn out from the playstyle. And I don't think that players that play like that will adapt to a very AFK style to then finish. So it's hard to say, but I also kind of put it on the side that, all it would take is somebody that's very committed to the game that could 100% be in contention for rank 1 even. They could start right now, and they could take it over. I feel. The fact of the matter is, like myself finishing 200 mil RC, about that time frame, the account was about 2.5 years old, or a little less. So to get to like where I was there in 2.5 years, like a player that has way more time to be able to play and things like that, they 100% could be on the top page in a couple of years and just blow everybody away. So yeah, there's definitely space for it. It's just a matter of if a player cares to.
I also wanted to add on that, like, I think as long as Pause keeps chugging along, you will also probably end up like finishing, especially with like all the gatherers done. It's like a really big thing.
Thank you.
You just need to make GP. Pause.
Break the mining wall.
Got you. Pause.
If I could, break the mining wall. One day, maybe.
Swapping.
What did you say, Charles?
All right. So next, let's start swapping.
Oh, good idea.
All right. Question number 9. Clan bingo was recently a topic of tension due to a recent player's bingo resulting in a real-world trade violation. Since a player in the clan contributed to the bingo's prize pool with GP that was accrued through RWT. Players that were not aware of this were punished through real-world trading bans. What are your thoughts about this, and do you see free-to-play ever doing GP events now that this is a potential issue? Feel free to talk about swapping as well. Mr. Freck, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so this kind of blew up on Twitter for a bit there because Aiza responded to it, and basically just the kind of tension points were just like, how can you hold people accountable for an RWT ban when they had no idea that somebody in the clan, did this in the first place, right? Just being the winner of a bingo or that of like a giveaway from a streamer or something, you don't know where that GP came from. You, you're not you're not liable to that situation. You won it. You didn't do anything wrong. You shouldn't be banned. But it seems that Jagex has a completely different approach to that and just doesn't actually care. They're just going to hold you responsible. And this is a pretty normal thing from Jagex, actually. If you've been in the world of swapping RS3 to old school, there's certain people that you avoid swapping with because they've kind of been outed or known to have RWT'd in the past. I'm not going to name names, even though I really want to. But like, you're
just one, just one.
Charles.
Just one.
Charles.
I'm not gonna do that.
Google Doc.
I'm not gonna do that. But like that's just like the nature of the beast in a way. But it just seems like they're cracking a lot heavier down on it, and I think that the risk versus reward on some of these things are just no longer worth it for a lot of people. Like just imagine you swapped to somebody, or you took GP from somebody on RS3 that, you know, bought that GP, and then you swapped it yourself back to old school GP, and then you get banned on your accounts for something you had no clue about. And I don't think that that's at all fair, but it kind of has brought to the attention of myself that, like, where I'm at GP wise for finishing 200 mil all, I don't need more GP, and I'm very on the fence of like, do I just stop playing the RS3 alts and stop bothering with swapping and things like that. So yeah, it's wild times, and the game just doesn't feel comfortable to do any activity, even if you know it's perfectly fine. It's just weird. It's weird times, and for the bingo side of it, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I thought that this isn't Tesco's comment on Twitter was really funny, because
for people that don't know about that context, can you highlight what that was?
Okay, like, I was trying to find the tweet. Basically, like, Tedious was replying to the bingo drama with like an analogy about, like, was it like a grandma with crack?
Maybe. Like crack money?
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it was like somebody that is a drug dealer goes into a Tesco, buys something, and then grandma walks in or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like, arrest the grandma as well.
Yeah, like the grandma got the change from the $100 bill that the drug dealer used to buy his chocolate bar or something. Should you arrest the drug dealer and the grandma? It was something crazy like that. And
Absolutely.
It was just like, that's actually the logic that Jagex is using here.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because it was responded with, "It makes sense." And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, but like, as a serious answer, like, this was definitely something that I was like aware of. Like, I don't like I've seen people that like traded like other people that have RJVT'd in the past and just like gotten banned for that, just by like association, and it's like a really dumb thing, and definitely shouldn't be like, I don't know, there shouldn't be that like you get arrested because the drug dealer went into the store as well. Like, I don't know. The like banned by association thing is really dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone posted the tweet here, so I'll just read it. A drug dealer enters a grocery store and buys something. Random grandma goes to the same grocery store and receives change that originated from the drug dealer's pockets. The drug dealer gets arrested. Logically, so does the cashier, the owner of the grocery store, and the grandma.
Yeah, it is. It was even better than what we said it was. Wow. Everybody involved. Yeah, that makes that's the logic. Yeah.
I think you guys have answered it fine already. So I'll just say, if free to play CC were to have some competition, I think as long as Freck and I and DJ are distributing GP, we should be fine. But unless it like even extends to like people we're giving money to, like if we gave them money and they happen to RWT, do we get banned? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I would.
Oh my god. Well,
Uh-oh.
guess we're not doing that then.
Yeah, so to kind of answer that question, which I didn't even put that portion into my answer, yeah, free to play will never be doing giveaways or bingos or anything like that for a GP prize ever again. That won't happen.
My plans are ruined.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't even hear that this happened until today. It's another one of those things. But it is crazy that you can be in the wrong place, the wrong time, and still just get screwed, even on this game. But
moral of the
it's
story.
very in the spirit of Jagex false bans. So no surprise there. But what it tells me is, joke's on us. We should all just became Iron Man because we can't even trade between each other now these days. Like, well, what's going on, guys?
Moral of the story: don't trade anybody ever.
True.
Nope.
Just use the GE, guys.
So I can go out and buy a bunch of GP and then hire a ton of runners and have them all banned. That's crazy, dude.
Just trade, like go around asking people to trade and just like give them stuff, and then everyone will get banned. You traded.
The band virus,
literally,
basically.
literally everyone at use, bro.
Just
Can I
to
have
play
some money,
cake.
please?
I think the solution to these problems, and like that's the same kind of case comes up for like selling RuneScape names, stuff like that. I think Jagex just actually has to vet the scenario and has to make some level of an auction house. So players that want to swap GP from RS3 to old school or vice versa, they have an official platform that, you know, they can't be scammed. You're not liable to how the hell they got the GP. Doesn't matter. You're not, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who accepts the swap, right? Like, you could just put in your offer of swap at whatever rate you're swapping at, and when somebody accepts those terms, yours cashes in, right? Like that could be a solution. Name buying, same kind of idea, so that, you know, even the Jagex RAN system can't be abused in a fashion that is like, oh, I have this stupid ass name that I'm going to sell for 500 bill, and Joey over here is gonna go use his credit card and buy GP, and he's going to buy my stupid name, and I can't be RWT banned because he bought my name. Like, there obviously needs to be just free range market of it type idea, but ran by Jagex. Done. Problem solved. Can't get false RWT banned at that point.
I feel like pretty much everyone has hit all the talking points about this question. I mean, just most I can really add is, like, for me, like, it makes me a little more, I don't know, slightly more paranoid about swapping. I mean, will I still do that? I mean, probably, but
I didn't know that you had RS3 odds.
you know, yeah, no, I don't play them as often as I'd like, but you know, with what happened with on Twitter about the clan bingo thing, it's like maybe I should be more inclined to just alt in old school and do Vires and RDs, you know. So I don't know, just a little more paranoid with the RS3 stuff. But yeah, that's all I can really input. You guys pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Something that I wanted to add on as well is it's definitely concerning for runners, because like a lot of the time people that are in like the running discords will like be like just using like steroid client to do running for however long and then RWT all the GP away. So like it's definitely concerning for like if you like paid this runner for like this hour, like are you also going to get banned because they like then go on to RWT, and just should definitely be like, I guess requires more of like a trust system, like where these like people are like well known.
I feel like things like running and those sorts of things are probably going to end up kind of not being in existence if that's the norm of the runners that people are using, then people need to end up using friends instead.
Yeah.
Like swap hours, free to play. What's up? Let's all swap hours with each other so that we can play the game wholly.
All right. Question number 10. We are at the final question of the internal group, and we're about to head to community questions. Does the long-awaited return of RuneFest after COVID have anybody's interest peaked? Are there any concrete plans made by you all to attend, or any other potential related plans?
No concrete plans right now. I would really love to go. I'm sure a lot of people would as well, but free time and money is something quite valuable, and it can be hard. But I would love to go. Freck and I were talking about possibly going, and it would be a lot of fun. Would love to do it. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on IRL, especially around that time. I've got a wedding to plan and pay for the following month.
Hey-o.
So yeah, it's going to be a bit busy, but I want to make it happen. And I also just wanted to plug we got some F2P merch in case anyone wants to dress up for RuneFest in some F2P gear. There should be a link in the doc if you guys haven't looked at it already, but I'm going to put it up on screen real quick.
And you got to put the link in the description.
Yeah, of course. There will be a link in the description. No worries. No worries.
And I will say, pause. During the
about-
podcast, I actually bought a hoodie during the podcast. So
You did?
sign me up.
Nice.
I did.
I got a crew neck coming in soon, like next week.
Very nice.
But on the back, it's got a link to our Discord QR code and some anti-pay-to-play propaganda. So we love to see it. Yeah. Anyway, next person.
I already bought so much with my crack money, so enjoy the IRL band.
Oh shit.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm
Nice.
dying. I'm dying.
Nice.
Yeah, obviously Pause kind of summed it up on kind of my answer as well. Like, it would be lovely to go together, and we'd bring our significant others with us as well, so which they've become good friends from the last time that we hung out. So yeah, no, I think it would be really fun if we were to do it, but it's just time frame of when it's going to be as well. Like, there's no concrete date on when it is, but they kind of stated it would be like early September or something. I think that's the best we know of it. And for that being the case, like, I don't know if it'll work. Like, if it was during the summer or times that typically people can easily get off work, that would be fine. But being September, that rolls into our kind of close to end of quarter, I guess the start of our fiscal quarter 3.
Yeah.
So
Sort of Q4.
yeah, well, our Q4 starts, like, our fiscal starts April, so
Okay. These are off.
yeah, it's like Q3, and people just got out of school, so where I work, there's a lot of hiring that runs around that time, so not usually the best time to take vacation, so I don't know ultimately if it would work. I'd love to go, and one of the major reasons I'd like to go is just for like the typical hangouts, also just being able to be there with my girlfriend and like see the UK. I've never gone anywhere outside of North America, so that would be really enjoyable. And then the other portion is just, I really hope that Jagex has like really weird named beers that come from RuneScape, and we can all get drunk on some like Asgardian ale and shit. Great.
Wizard Mind Bomb.
Yeah, I want a Wizard Mind Bomb in real life, man.
It's just a blue moon. Be careful.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go. I'm like not old enough to drink, and that seems like the main event. So,
Wait, even the
I feel
UK?
like- yeah. Wait, what's the age?
It's
I
18.
think it's 18.
18.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
Yeah.
can. Well, yeah, I guess that changes things. I can't wait to
Guess you're
go to
going.
Birmingham.
I'll see y'all at RuneFest.
I don't really have an interest in going to RuneFest. I mean, unless like for some reason like a bunch of people I know would want to go. And that would be kind of like the only way I'd be inclined to go. I mean, plus it's in Birmingham. There could be like a homeless British man with a machete in front of the venue or something, and I'm not risking my life. So, if my friends want to go, at least enough of them, yeah, maybe I'll risk my life getting hacked to death by the homeless British man with a machete. So, that's all I have to say.
Is Birmingham supposed to be dangerous?
I don't think so.
It's just like Birmingham, Alabama, DJ. Oh, Birmingham, UK is very interesting.
Is it?
Never been, man. I don't even have a passport. But I would.
It's
love
one of the
to
more
go.
interesting territories.
I heard they eat people. Allegedly.
Okay.
So Peaky
I would
Blinders.
go.
Oh yeah, true.
Peaky Blinders was based on Birmingham and a few other cities. You guys have seen that show?
I need to
That's
watch
how it
all
still
of that.
is.
Yeah. I mean, I would go. I don't know if I would be able to go this year, but I mean, like I said, I don't even have a passport, and I got kind of a lot of stuff going on this year. But I mean, if they do one for 2025, and I could start planning now, yeah, I'd probably go because I've never been outside of the States either. So even that experience alone would just be amazing. I'd love to do that, but we will see 2025 if we can make it happen. Not sure about this year.
It's fair. Well, I actually have a platform to make a huge announcement. Tanner Dino and I have been planning a free-to-play RuneFest in the United States of America, the #1 country. We are looking for a free venue that provides free food and free travel.
Free accommodations.
And if any city or municipal employees are listening to this podcast, just let us know. No city's too small, no city's too large. We happen to be pretty distributed evenly, so just let us know, and we will bring at least 15 tourists to your city. So
It's gonna be like that
I
furry
just want to go ahead
convention
and
with like the like ball pit that got like filled with pee.
I got a guess.
I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Hardee's Carl Jr.'s, for the free-to-play convention. We are ready to roll. All right. So after you purchase your free-to-play merchandise, we'll leave a 10-second gap. We've got some questions from YouTube and Twitter. All right. Iodine OSRS asked, for those of you who are not content creators, do you find that streaming/uploading has impacted your outlook on how you play the game as a whole? Second part of the question, when you're putting in your biggest hours into RuneScape, where were you at in your life? Did your IRL scenario heavily affect gameplay? Pause, we'll start with you.
Sure. I think 100% documenting my progress while playing has been a huge part of how I've played. I've been making videos for a very long time. Pretty much since I started the account almost. So yeah, those two things kind of go hand in hand. I feel like it becomes a more like physical part of the account is having this collection of videos that shows how I've made progress through the game and how I've like adjusted my mindset. And you can see like looking back how you thought about the game at a certain point in time versus how you do now. So I think that's like a major part of it for me. And the second part of the question, when you're putting your biggest hours. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was putting in probably the majority of my hours early on. I just graduated high school and I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing at university and wasn't sure if I wanted to go to university. So I didn't know what I was going to do. So I just was playing RuneScape and, yeah, I think playing RuneScape actually impacted the way I approach committing to things, and it really honestly helped just like, I don't know, setting goals and being able to push through them and fulfill whatever you're aiming for. That was a major help going to university and be able to graduate after going to school for 6 years. So, yeah, credit that to RuneScape.
For me, I started streaming and uploading progress videos at the end of 2023. And I kind of did that for the more or less just did it on a whim. Kind of would be a nice thing to look back on from the future from now and kind of look, have a glimpse of where I was at the time when I was recording those videos. And it feels like it has impacted how I play the game, because as I did more videos, a lot more eyes were on me, and it feels like, not in like a peer pressure kind of way, but it makes me feel more obligated to play the game. So and I take that as like a win there, because I do enjoy like playing the game, and just having like this I guess like motivation to keep going helps a lot. The second part of the question, when I was putting my biggest hours and where I was at in life at the time, I didn't, on this account, I didn't really, on the free to play at least, I haven't really put in as much time as I did, like, let's say back during COVID when lockdown was happening and I was playing like, I don't know, like 110 weeks, like just back to back to back. So, because of lockdown, I had an excuse to kind of get away with doing that at the time. But during that time, playing a lot, it made me realize like, it made me learn like how to like schedule my time more efficiently, kind of give me like a schedule to follow, like, do my obligations and then come home and play the game, and kind of, it helped me like narrow down like what I should kind of focus on during the day. So I'm kind of glad COVID happened, but like in a weird way, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'd call myself a content distributor, not as much creator, because I just get all my ideas from Enjoys and then I make a video of it. So how that's impacted my gameplay is I have to learn how to play at a level that Enjoys plays at, and you basically just get like the Wish version of Enjoys when you watch my video. So it's just like horrible and bad clicks. Just don't watch my content, it's trash. But I did start out as like doing rambles back when I was on Freckled Kid, and I just have no care to do that. If people want to hear me talk about my ideas of the game and whatnot, they can just come to the podcast and hear what we have to
Or
say
Discord.
at that point. Yeah, or just come chat in Discord, come to voice.
The free-to-play Discord.
Voice
Things
sessions
like
every
that.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Get your voice points. Get your voice
So-
points.
so that's kind of my take. I don't really care to create like content inside of like editing a series of clips together. I'm never going to do that. My videos are always just like raw hit record, put music on and do the video, and just if I was to ever make commentary, it would not be after the fact. I'm not splicing things together and clips. It's just never going to happen. So I'm never going to be that type of content creator. It's just going to be raw gameplay footage uploaded. As for biggest hours into RuneScape, I mean, I guess RC and the whole kind of focus around that was just the people I did RC with when I'd run, or if I did the suicide methods myself with alt, is there was just always a motivation that friends were always there to chat with. So I was constantly in voice, not so much free to play because no one goes in free to play voice.
Until
So
recently.
bring back free to play voice.
It's brought back. Don't worry.
It's pretty big, though.
Alive
It's pretty
and well.
huge.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot
Huge.
better recently, which is nice. But yeah, just like being in voice, talking with friends, and then just like having other friends to kind of like lift you up from the times that like you just kind of feel burnt on your skilling like journey can be huge. If I was ever feeling like I didn't want to do it, all it took was just a message of like, "Hey, we're down to RC," or like you'd post in the free to play runners Discord even and just be like, "I'd like to find a runner for body tiaras. Anybody down?" And then as soon as somebody would be like, "Yeah, I'm in," you were ready to RC for the day and you were happy, and it kind of just held you accountable to the goal that you had in mind. It kind of sucks not having that with others. It's like ultimately no one's there being like, "Hey man, log in today. We're gonna click a tree together." Like,
Hey, Freck, do you want to do some forestry?
Oh, Lord.
Please.
Do you wanna bury some bones?
On right now.
But yeah, that would have been the most time that I spent, I guess. But like, yeah, I just work it around anything. So like, if I have to work, I get my work done before I play. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, one of my bigger regrets is actually not documenting my progress on this account. And I've always really wanted to do it, but I mean, nowadays, I mean, what's the point? Like, I'm maxed. I mean, what am I gonna sit here and make a 20-minute video while you guys watch me cut this yew tree and just talk about random stuff? But I'm not editing savvy. I've streamed a couple times, and that's fine. And when I stream, I don't take it serious. I don't like sit there and like, I don't know. I don't go insane with the methods these days. So I just have fun. But my biggest era of playtime, I guess, was probably, I don't know. I'd say
Splashing in your pocket.
okay. Look. I was gonna say before I maxed and I was splashing at the same time because, see, I would play all day like I do now, like my 16, 20 hours a day, whatever. And I'd go to sleep at like 1, 2 a.m. and I would leave my account logged in splashing. So I would wake up majority of the time and still be logged in, just being smacked by the man. So like there was a lot of days where I would
Who's this
24
man?
hours of playtime. The man upstairs
Yeah,
in the Baroque.
so, like,
in.
Wait,
Man.
you actually just left your account logged in after the like 20-minute like aggro, and you were just logged in for an additional like
Yeah,
5
dude.
hours.
DJ has more time played than
Yeah.
I do, like
What's
by a
your
lot.
playtime? What's your playtime? Oh my god.
1,083 days, 1 hour.
I'm at 1,011.
1
Oh
hour.
my god.
That's insane. Okay, love it.
Yeah. So yeah, I
And,
would, like,
and a majority
fall
of that
asleep.
is just the splashing scenario too.
Splash
by the
man. Splash man.
The man.
Splash man.
The man.
Just so much of that just being 0 XP being gained.
The meta, if you ever want a cool place to splash, if you go upstairs in the Palador bar, there's a drunken man that's like swaying from side to side that you can attack. It's like,
That's the man.
all right, that's the man.
New meta.
yeah.
I'll briefly talk about my best hours. My best hours were at the launch of OSRS, right after basically Bargain was playing the pay-to-play version of free-to-play. It's like the PvP worlds and whatnot. It was just very interesting to actually have the old game unlocked. And I was playing anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day back then. And I was also very, very active on voice. Since then, we've had a variety of personal things and business-related things that have made me more occupied. My playtime has dropped, but what's interesting is I look back most fondly on those hours and those days because it felt like I could achieve some sense of relaxation in the community. So I look forward to feeling that again. And honestly, the next couple of years, I look forward to identifying some game goals and having some time to pursue them. So I think the best years are ahead of me.
Nice.
I haven't done any like video making, but I have been doing streaming recently, and it's been really fun. I've collected a group of very ill people, and yeah, it's been really interesting, but also really fun. And it's like I've engaged a lot more in the community than I ever have before. I'm definitely putting in my biggest hours into RuneScape right now. I'm in a similar situation to Little Paws. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, the next question is our good friend and loyal supporter Tanner Dino asks, what is your favorite era of RuneScape? Awesome.
Oh, I'm first.
It's you, yeah. Last to first.
I am super new, so I like played in probably like 2013 or something, but I had no idea what was going on because I was like a baby. So just like right now is the only era that I've experienced. I guess I kind of wish I was around for like the early days of OSRS because I don't know, it seemed like there was like a lot of excitement around skilling and like being able to like having everyone like training the same skill at the same time, like just like meeting like people through the skill seems like really cool. And there's still like a bit of that, but it's definitely like quieted down.
My favorite era of RuneScape, I mean, I feel like this question can be like answered in two different ways, like in terms of like era from like the past for the sake of nostalgia. I was a very big fan of like the end of actual 2007 where like God Wars Dungeon came out and like the GE was coming out. I thought, just like it was kind of like a big shift into RuneScape at that point at the time. I remember kind of seeing that growing up. But in terms of like I feel like skilling, I feel like maybe that 2018, 2019 era when, like top, front page, like pay to play was still being kind of decided, like it just felt kind of like I don't, like I guess like the renaissance of skilling in a weird way. Like it just felt like everyone who wanted to play played, and like the community at the time was just very big, and it was like really cool to be a part of it at that time.
DJ?
So don't shoot, guys. But I mean, no. I mean, on a not so serious note, we're gonna say today's scape, okay? We're gonna go with Vault and Scape, okay? All right. Because look, listen. When I finished 200 mil splash, I was ranked 51. But thanks to Jagex and their things that they do, I've increased 2 ranks and I'm now second page Magic, rank 49. Thank you very much. No, but
No,
I'm just kidding. Well,
No, I'm gonna just go somewhere else for this now.
I would say my favorite era was when they released old school RuneScape. I mean, it was just such a great time when this first came out. Wish we could go back.
we can. Thank you, Tanner.
We can. We're going back at some point.
Yeah, so
Reki?
I have so many eras of RuneScape is the problem.
old man.
So people that don't know, I've played since Classic. So I'll kind of throw a couple different eras in here, just because there were a lot of good periods. The only period I didn't like was 2004.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, Tanner.
Did you know who asked this question?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was kind of the point there. I'm just kind of screwing with Tanner here. But no, 2004 was a great time, but I was very torn because I was a Classic player. So I was very tied to Classic. I had, not the greatest of stats. I was very young, but I got to like 70s or so in a lot of skills, and I was only free to play. There was no way that my parents were ever going to put a credit card on the internet. So like I really worked hard. It felt weird. A lot of my friends were still playing Classic, so I never transitioned my wealth, which was a thing you could do, from Classic to RuneScape 2. So, I had party hats, masks, Santa hats, pumpkins, a lot of pumpkins for some reason. I don't know why I had so many pumpkins. But like I played since then, and it was just something that I wasn't ready for the change. I was reluctant to it even back then. That was kind of a weird point, but I loved Classic. It was a lot of fun. Every kid growing up was playing RuneScape at that point, and that really was nice to just have all of your friends. As soon as school was done, you're going home, you're logging in, you're playing RuneScape together. Other periods that I would say that were good would be the era of Zarfot. So if anybody knows Zarfot, he was a great skiller. I really enjoyed getting into the kind of efficiency ape of that. That was kind of nice. And then just the free-to-play community pre-EOC was lovely. Like the kind of like S Diamond Y and Syzygy era of things. I can remember players that I played like the Great Orb Project with. One of those being Gotta Hate STDs. He was a good dude. Yeah, and then I would say any era that old school RuneScape's free to play clan has been in existence.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, pause.
Oh, am I up next? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna split this into two parts. I'll say that like the RuneScape, like not old school RuneScape, but RuneScape. My probably most enjoyable time was when I made the account Pause in 2011. Was playing free to play on. I don't know if you'd call it RS3. It was pre-EOC at the time in 2011. So, but yeah, that was fun. When I first started out doing what I'm doing. And then probably this for old school, my favorite era was the grind to 200 mil fishing. That was definitely the most enjoyable time because I'd been like well established, gotten maxed, and had started a big grind, and that was a lot of fun pursuing that. So met a lot of great people and felt like I participated in the community to some extent. So yeah.
Oh, and getting again to nostalgia, Rhett Free to Play asks, "What's your favorite RuneScape related childhood memory?" So, I'd like to open on this one and say it was actually the release of the Great Exchange. So, I assume none of you know anything about me, but I'm not the most active skiller and I'm not the most active player. So, when they introduced a market system where you can make money buying and selling things and changing the price on them, it became kind of second nature for me, this game. So when the GE was added and free trade was added after the GE, it really was, I would say, my most impactful years. And I think there's a lot of lessons learned from the GE learning and scamming that have affected the rest of my life. So those would be my favorite childhood memories, the good ones and the bad ones.
My favorite RuneScape related childhood memory was well, I have a sister who's older than me, and one of her classmates who's her friend, shout out Eric, he got me into RuneScape at the time. And I was 10, so I was like 4th grade at the time, and he was like, you know, during school he was like, "You want to explore the Wildy tonight?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude, I'd never been in the Wildy." I was just, you know, just ready for an adventure. So me and him logged in that night, and we just, you know, jumped over the Wildy ditch and just explored for like an hour or two, and it just was awesome. Like just exploring like this place, like I was scared to go to alone, but having a friend with me was really cool. And then I remember accidentally attacking him, and I cut the skull above me, and I was like really scared. And I was like, "Okay, Eric, I think we should like go back and jump over the ditch again because I'm scared. I don't know why I have this skull on me." So
Scooby-Doo episode.
yeah. So yeah, that's one of my like fondest like childhood memories with RuneScape.
I've got two that are just hilarious. So, all right. The first one, like, I'm really young, elementary school, and me and my friend were going over to my place for lunch of school. So, like, back when I was in school, you could just leave. You had an hour lunch, basically, because there was recess that was tied to that as well. So we went to my house, had food, and then we decided we'd play RuneScape. We didn't have any intention of, you know, just playing RuneScape for the rest of the day and not going back to school, but that's what we did. And we got in the biggest shit, and like we didn't even mean to do this. Like we were just, you know, stubborn kids. We went home, ate lunch, and then didn't return to school. And yeah, we just got absolute shit for it. Maybe when I look back at it, maybe we were aware that, yeah, we're not going back. I can't really remember all of the details around it, but all I remember is we got in a lot of shit for not going to school. And just, yeah, the whole idea was that we were playing RuneScape instead. Another portion, which only came into mind because of Keybasher talking about the wilderness, was me and an old school friend. We decided to take my brother into the wilderness, and we decided that we were gonna kill him.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm the older brother by 4 years here, so like I was a dick. And yeah, the funnier part of that is like my brother was grinding out just killing men for like days to get enough GP to buy a rune pickaxe. And yeah, we went and killed him in the wilderness, and he was very upset, crying and all of this. And I ended up being the nice guy and gave him back the rune pick that my friend, I had to convince him to give it back because he was just like, I don't really want to. I was like, no, my brother's really upset, man. We got it. So yeah, there you go. There's some stories. I can't wait to link both of them. This
club, yeah.
Because
this pod, yeah.
Yeah, the friend.
Hey, brothers.
Skipped school. He still plays, and my brother still plays as well. So yeah, it'll be funny to link them, those portions.
I think for me it was just making a RuneScape account for the first time. My cousin and I made an account together, so we just did Tutorial Island. I barely remember it. I was like 8 years old. So
wait, you were account sharing?
No. We were like on computers next to each other.
basically account sharing. To me, to yeah, I know when I first made my account, I was 6, and I got stuck in the tutorial for 2 days because I didn't know how to use like make the bread dough. So
It's tough.
that was
It's tough.
frustrating. It was tough. I couldn't because I remember the arrow was pointing at the range, but I just couldn't comprehend what I needed to do. I don't know. I know there's literally a text box that tells you what you need to do, but I was stuck there. And I guess my second would be my first millie. Oh my gosh! I got membership with my dad's credit card, and then I went and killed Chaos Druids in the Edgemill dungeon for herbs.
Nice.
Made money that way.
Yeah.
You'll never get that stuff back. Like killing Chaos Druids for money, like so fun. Not really, but like I don't know, it's just different when that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like
pause.
I didn't really grow up with RuneScape, but like the little bit that I had of RS3, like I remember like completing Tutorial Island, and it was like a big deal for me. Like I remember like I think there was like a ship that you would like sail off on to the like mainland or something like that. And like I was just like it was I hadn't like ever experienced like a whole like world like that before, so it was something really unique. And yeah.
All right, back to modern day. Gringy asks, what tips do you have to gain EHP consistently while committing to responsibilities and social life balance? We'll start with Frecky.
I mean, I'm kind of in a situation that like I can feasibly play. I work remote. I don't know really how to answer this well, but just like if you actually want to be playing, then just play when you can. I would just say like if EHP is what you care about in the end, then like follow that, play efficiently when you can play the game. But I don't really like saying that for the game, because ultimately are you going to enjoy doing it? So my best advice would be to completely ignore the website and just log in when you want to play and do the skills that you want to do and the training methods that you want to do.
Yep. Yeah, make sure what you're doing is something you actually want to do, and don't force yourself to do skills you don't like doing. It doesn't really matter unless, I mean, of course, if you have the goal of maxing, you kind of have to do the skills you don't want to do, but I don't know. It's more fun to just train skills that you prefer, honestly, in the end. But it is also nice to like push through difficult challenges, like skills you don't like, as long as they're not super long term, I suppose. If you've got a busy schedule, then just you got to work around it and play when you can. Find time to squeeze in like flush crawlers or some other AFK alternative. It can be splashing like DJ or whatever else. If you have friends and social activities you need to take part in, don't ignore those, because if it's something you like doing, if you're an introvert, I get it. Like, you don't have to hang out with people, but I'm lagging. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
it went through on my
friends
head.
and social for a tick.
Yeah, it's okay. If you have friends
say
and
it
other
again.
if you have friends and other social activities that you need to take part in, then don't ignore those unless you don't really care to. If you're an introvert, I get it. But trust me. But if it's something you enjoy, do it. And yeah, RuneScape is a hobby. You can put as many hours as you want into it, or none at all. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you.
Yeah. Chrome remote or mobile will be your best friend if that's what you really want to do. I mean, but yeah, you don't have to force yourself to do that. Absolutely. No, none of us would do it if we didn't want to actually play the game. We didn't enjoy playing RuneScape. But yeah, I mean, Chrome Remote and mobile are my best friends. Mobile these days because I have a stupid Mac and for whatever reason I can't use Chrome Remote on it. So I like mobile. I don't know how many of y'all have iPhone, but you can see your screen time. I usually average like 10 hours a day for old school screen time on my phone. So there's that.
You just have your phone plugged in permanently, charging at work.
Dude, yeah, my battery is shit, bro. It's destroyed.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bert,
It's destroyed.
not just
Dude,
you
I run
and
it
the
on
battery
the-
are Bert.
yeah, I run it on the 30 FPS, I think. Maybe I do 15. I don't even know. But my phone, I mean, I'm online by like what 6, I guess usually, and then by like
66, baby.
8:30, yeah, by 8:30, my phone is almost dead. It's on like 10%. I gotta plug it in for the rest of the day. So, yeah,
Yeah, mobile used to make my phone like overheat, and so it'd just be like this like burning brick.
I haven't had mine overheat yet, but
For me to like to gain EP consistently while committing to responsibilities and social life, the secret to gaining EP is just not have responsibilities and social life. Just be a degenerate. That's the secret, guys. But it's with my schedule, like I can play pretty consistently, but I don't make it like a habitual thing. Like if something has to come up, like I just don't feel obligated to log in. It's good to just kind of prioritize things, because when you do come back to playing RuneScape, like it feels much better to play the game when you have things sorted out. It feels like more enjoyable. Like as someone said, it's as long as you log in, doesn't matter if it's an hour, you're logged in, you're playing the game. That's important. Just kind of have your priorities kind of aligned properly, because when you do that, getting up just feels more accomplished, and it gives you more like incentivision to just gain more. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, ditch your friends, ditch your responsibilities, play 16 hours a day. Definitely like the zero time is really big. Like if you can be like on your phone or on Chrome Remote, then it'll help a lot. Like everyone already said that. But also like experimenting with what you can do with zero time. Like if you can get like closer to 1-to-1, doing things like in class or whatever, like, and still keep up with things, that's really big.
Perfect. All right. So, question number 15 from the inducted says, discuss why a 3-tick item should come to free to play. Key Basher, let's get it.
I'm starting off with a heavy one. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, I get why people would want a 3-tick item in free to play, but I also agree or align more with the people who don't want a 3-tick item. It's a very divisive topic, but all I'll really say about it is like I don't like seeing achievements become undermined over time. That's all I really have to kind of input on that. But I don't know. It just if it does happen, if a 3-tick item gets added in free to play, I wouldn't care as much, but I would kind of slightly prefer it doesn't. So.
My bad. So for me, I mean, it really doesn't matter to me because, well, the very rare times that I am 3-ticking these days, I actually really enjoy snow. At least with fishing, I'm not super big on like double snow wood cutting, but I do like snow with fishing, and I will do that when I get there. But I mean, you know, you guys know I'm not into chisel log or anything like that. So 3-tick item doesn't.
There's a lot of references
really
being
matter
said.
if it comes in or not. Chisel log.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm probably one of the biggest advocates for a 3-tick item. And yeah, sure. Everybody can boo me if they care to. Go for it.
I don't think
don't
anyone
care.
cares.
Alright, sweet. Reason being, I think snow sucks. I think it's miserable to have to not be in a 3-tick cycle. The whole idea of doing a 3-tick skill is that you are 3-ticking, not 3-ticking then not 3-ticking. So if snow could just be the fact that there isn't a delay across spawning it, I'd love it. That snow would be great. But due to the fact that you need to do an action like craft between, so then you 4-tick on the spawn cycle, or you know, you give yourself some cakes so that you can eat a cake in between the spawn cycle. At that point, you're just better off trading yourself cakes constantly anyhow. I think it'd be more maintainable long run to just do that than to be spawning snow and then eating cake in between. I just hate it, and that's just from a fishing perspective, because the only skill that most people are going to be doing snow with now is fishing, because we have 2-tick oaks or forestry for people that just want to piss chill.
What up?
And you can't really do anything with mining for snow. So, and that kind of brings even a bigger problem to the tick manipulation scenario in general. Mining has nothing. Currently, the only way to 3-tick mining is to trade yourself a cake, or you kick yourself with the love crossbow equipped on a PvP world. But that's only -50, so eventually your alt's going to retain its stats and it's going to start hurting you, and you can't just step a mind bomb in between the 3-tick cycle and stay in cycle while constantly 3-ticking. I've tried, it doesn't really work. So these are our options for mining, and it's just miserable because we can't be in the wilderness to kick ourselves anymore because Jagex decided to fix something that didn't need to be fixed at all because it wasn't a problem in the first place. So I want a 3-tick item for the sake of being able to 3-tick mine. That's really what I want it for, but it would also be lovely to not have to spawn snow during fishing. So yeah.
I can definitely understand the perspective of like wanting the like flowfulness of not having to like have that interruption, but I think that snow is like something that's it's really unique to free-to-play that there isn't a 3-tick item, and it like breeds a lot of like innovation. Like I really wish that forestry hadn't done its thing and that 2.6 tick was still the best wood cutting method, because it was just like, it was really cool to like see all the like minor improvements that people were making with that.
Is it not still the best method technically? Like,
No.
if you went and did 2.6 tick, is it
No,
better
because
than
oaks are
2-tick
better.
oaks,
Yep.
or is oaks actually better?
Oaks are better.
Oaks don't go down anymore, so they're better.
Wait, so the 3 trees that you do the 2.66 tick, they're not always up.
No, they are. It's
They
just
are,
oaks are
but-
better
Yeah.
now.
So then why wouldn't you?
Oaks are better now because the fact that they don't go down. When the reason they were low is because they went down so quickly.
Right, but like the XP rate for oaks is like 113 max, like perfect tick.
I've used
Yeah, it might be
So-
like 1 or 2k XP difference. Like,
It's just
Maybe.
not worth the effort of doing
yeah,
it
just not at all.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Whereas
I mean,
like
you
before,
just turn brain off, click log, click tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. But
Yeah.
I just thought that the buff of those trees also always going down at a certain time. You always having 3, you'd at least always have a tree up. But I think you always would have had a tree up previously. so-
Almost always, yeah. It was rare. So
So okay.
yeah, and there's just like a lot of like learning what to do if like a certain tree goes down and like how to keep up the like optimal rates was like really interesting, and like seeing that like race for the best like woodcutting hour was really cool, and now all of that's kind of just like in the bin.
Woodcutting
And-
really just is the worst skill now.
Yeah.
It's
It's bad.
Like, I think that like one of the things that's keeping free to play is the fact that we don't have 3-tick options, and that it's solely snow, because that like does like it, you have to play around that, and it makes for an interesting meta most of the time, except for when forestry shows up.
yep. Halcyon kind of said exactly what I was going to say, so there's that. But I honestly don't mind. Like if they were to just come out with a 3-tick item for us, I wouldn't be the end of the world. I wouldn't care that much. But I really appreciated like all the method finding they had to go into certain things to figure out what you could do and how to optimize. Since just to clarify for people who don't know, snow is a 3-tick item, but it's a non-consistent 3-tick item. You can't continuously 3-tick, so there had to be optimizations of ways to improve that, obviously. So that's what we're talking about. But yeah.
All right. So question number 16, third to last. It is a 3-pronged question. I'm gonna read all 3 parts, and you guys feel free to comment on whatever was your fancy. So, with free-to-play being a game mode which pays respect to the old school way of playing RuneScape and the skilling methods, does the use of RuneLite and its various plugins diminish the achievement of skilling and stray the game away from its original roots? That is the first part of this question. The second part of this question, from Farcano, asks, following on from the above, what are the thoughts of using alts to assist free-to-play regs gaining experience, especially alts with pay-to-play agility levels? Essentially, free-to-play accounts are getting assisted indirectly through the benefits of pay-to-play. Final piece, same principle as question 2. Also, pay-to-play GP alts as free-to-play accounts are assisted through the pay-to-play aspect of the game. So,
I'm so happy I'm first on this because I'm the biggest defender of all of these questions. That's lovely. Thanks. guys.
at random, we will pick one player to speak first.
Oh my
and that
God.
player at random.
No,
has
I'll take
chosen
it.
to be-
I'll take it. So I'm gonna be crazy here on this one, but anybody that thinks that we're actually playing old school RuneScape is delusional at this point. That's just, it's gone. It's gone. I don't think it takes away from it. The whole kind of like being free to play itself for the skilling is the limitation I've put on my account. I didn't put the limitation that I can never interact with a pay to play account. I mean, at that point, you make an Iron Man. I don't think that you can. You could always just make the argument that, hey, you sold your Rune 2Hs to a player that has pay to play and they alked them, and that's why you got the GP that you got, because somebody in pay to play made more GP in pay to play and could afford the 2Hs to then alk. Right? So it's one of those kinds of things, and I just haven't really cared about the kind of concept of like there's certain players that'll be like, hey, I am going to limit myself to only making GP in free to play on my free to player, and it's to me it's just a lazy cop out of making the GP on alts and playing efficiently. Um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these questions because I'm sure people will be like, you're just abusing the system to get better XP rates and free to play that you otherwise couldn't. But I'm always going to play the game how I want to play it. And that's the kind of limitation I put on my account. And my kind of point of view to it all is simply I don't even know how to answer these questions very well. I feel like we've answered the GP alt thing so many times that it's just like I don't even know what to say about it, but it's like I basically play as just the limitation that this account is in free to play, and I want to play at the high tier level. I want to play alts. I want to make GP. I want to do all these things. So that's how I play the game.
Right, so I'm just gonna I have something written for this question just so I don't forget certain things, so I'm just gonna read what I have. So RuneLite plugins obviously diminish what skilling would be without them, makes them significantly easier and skilling smoother, which maybe isn't the worst thing if our goal is to enjoy the time we spend playing the game. However, this also applies to updates to the game and personal preferences of others, which is tricky. I think I wouldn't be upset if any update or plugin that comes out as long as a preserved version of 2007 existed, which it currently doesn't. So I am a little annoyed at their existence to some extent. It's not the end of the I think they're okay. It's just I don't know. It definitely makes skilling less than it could be and what an achievement is, and the more plugins that come out to help things be smoother obviously diminishes it. So that's the first part of what he was asking. Second and third question, I think our account limitations are not buying membership on our free to play only account, and that's it. Indirect assistance, quote unquote, of pay to play accounts do not matter. You could also say the massive quantity of items that we purchase from the GE are not sourced from free to play and therefore are indirectly assisted through pay to play as well. But that's kind of a silly way to think about the game, in my opinion.
Man, yeah. For question one, I think it's funny actually how, I mean, just a few years ago when RuneLite was released, there was such a big divide between the community. Like, oh my God, you use RuneLite, like you should be banned. I'm vanilla only, whatever. And now it just seems like everyone's on RuneLite. And I mean, like Forestry just dropped. Where the hell is the Forestry plugin? You know, and like that all that stuff has gone just out the window. I feel like. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say yeah, it definitely makes skilling easier, makes it more brain dead, but I don't think that's the worst thing. Like you said, pause. Like as long as it makes it more enjoyable. If you find it more enjoyable, then that's all that matters. But yeah, and then for the second and third question, I mean, yeah, like Freckled said, like if you're not gonna use your pay to play alts to play or to make GP and play efficiently on a regular account, then you might as well just be playing an Iron Man. And I will say, honestly, I'm not a big fan of making GP, and if I could have gone back and just became an Iron Man, I probably would. But here we are.
With the use of plugins and stuff, I do agree that it does kind of like diminish an achievement overall, but at the same time, with Runelight, everyone can access Runelight, so it kind of like levels out the playing field. Obviously, like the achievement itself will be diminished, but like I like to think of it in a way of like, it, you know, varying person to person's like, can you outlast the next person to this goal? Like, and I think that's something that should be focused on in terms of like an achievement. Like, you know, like I did this 200 mil, got this rank, did it before, you know, everyone else. It's like, I don't know, like that's how I'd like to think of it nowadays with skilling versus like the mechanically challenging part of skilling nowadays, and kind of thinking that way has made it a little more, I guess, enjoyable in that regard. And again, with the second and third part of this question, like if you're playing a reg, like that just in top like gives you like a reason to use every advantage given to you, whether it's, you know, GP alts and alts that have, you know, certain levels that can help you out with, you know, training in free to play. Like, you know, if you don't want to do that, just play an Iron Man. So
Yeah, I think that a lot of this kind of went into the bin as soon as like the rules were changed to like allow alts. I don't like, I can't really think of any like scenarios where having like an alt with 99 agility is like actually like an XP rate increase as opposed to like QOL for like 1+1 running and like maybe like alt trading mining. If anyone like knows.
I'm not certain to how agility can assist on certain different trading type methods, but from an RC perspective, it is zero difference. You can just sip energy potions. It doesn't matter.
Pre-energy potions, of course, yeah.
What about the rune crafting ring? Doesn't that have some sort of effect?
I think Freck has probably tested that, honestly.
Oh, if you hop pay to play, free to play, using Ring of the Elements, I mean, you're just better off doing PvP world, like your own alt trading not flipping between. But you save the GP, so it really depends there again. Depends if you can make more GP or if you need to save GP. So if you don't have the GP for the body talismans and you want to do earths, then that's a viable alternative to it, I guess. But yeah, it's a pain, and then you run into the login limit and all
I will say that I thought it was like really cool when like players like Tricool would have like basically like the solo efficiency like spreadsheets and whatnot, where like the best things to do if you were just like not using any GP alts, but that definitely is like something that's outdated after the rule change. So I don't know, you're just like putting yourself at a disadvantage, which if that's something that you want to do because it like represents your like moral outlook on the game, then like you do you, and that's cool. But I really don't think it should be like changed back, or I don't know what they would do to like combat that.
Very good answers. We have question 17 coming up, and question 17 from Leftover Rover says, what is the Taco Bell lore? Follow-up question from Pause. How would you rate Taco Bell on a scale of 1 to 10? And I cannot think of anybody better to begin this
scale
question.
Is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I didn't say 1 out of 10, Charles. I said 10 out of 10.
Oh, sorry, 10 out of 10. The floor is yours.
Right. So I just love Taco Bell, and it's a bit of a nostalgic place for me. I would always go there after sometimes after school in high school, and I'd go there after the movies with my friends. So, yeah, I've just always loved Taco Bell, and I think some other free-to-play players in free-to-play SEC also share that passion. So that's how the lore has developed, I suppose.
Can we get your go-to meal?
Oh, recently, oh my god, the grilled cheese burrito slaps. That's just the most incredible thing I've ever had. But before that, probably just cheesy gordita crunch, cheesy fiesta potatoes, and just a soft chicken taco with some Taco Bell hot sauce. Always very good.
To wash it down?
Baja Blast to wash it down, of course. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, for myself, Taco Bell was a lot more frequent in high school because there was a mall right beside the high school I went to. And, like, you could just get a freaking soft taco for, like, 99 cents, or I think it was 89 cents then. So, you just take, like...
What?
What are we laughing about?
Yeah, what was that?
I'm old? Is that what we're laughing at?
Yeah, no, you're old as hell. Like they were, you guys used to like change to buy our tacos back then.
It was a single soft taco.
That was
they were
rude.
less than $1, man.
In 1978, we had a taco for $1.
That's just what it was. So yeah, you could just get a lot of fucking food for not a lot of money. So it was fucking awesome. And then yeah, just Baja Blast fucking absolutely slaps. So that's another point to Taco Bell. But I will say, as of now, like I don't really get much at Taco Bell. If I'm gonna get something that is Taco Bell-esque, I'm gonna go to a place that has like better selection of food. I mean, you just has anybody like actually looked at the back of a Taco Bell and like the mess that is just everywhere? Like I'm
Okay.
just not.
I just
I'm
want to
just
say,
not wanting to have that.
I just want to say that Taco Bell varies location to location. The Taco Bell
Yeah,
in my
location to
house is
location.
very pristine, and I don't know what Frank is talking about. So, I've also been to bad Taco Bells. So, if you don't
No, but,
like
like-
Taco Bell, that's probably why. Anyway, go
Just even the quality of ingredients is just mediocre to
Nah,
like if
dude.
you actually went to
Yeah.
like
on. Nah.
Oh.
No, man, if you went to a real like taco place, like it's gonna be better. But yeah, you're gonna pay out the ass for like a single fucking burrito or
$4.25
couple
for a
tacos.
taco.
right? So
Yeah.
like I get it. Like we're talking on a fast food level, but most of the time that I'm craving a burrito or something, I want like a burrito.
Nah, dude. I prefer Taco Bell over any real restaurant. Honestly, it's that's how much I love it.
I do.
Tweet.
Yeah.
DJ, what do you think?
Oh man, I love me some Taco Bell, dude. I mean, I like Freckle. I don't have it that often. There is one pretty damn close to me. Funny story, actually. At work today, I was thinking to myself, I was actually going to stop by Taco Bell tonight, and I had not even looked at our podcast questions yet. So that is funny, but I do love me some Taco Bell. I used to be really big on the Nacho Bel Grande, and the potato, the grillers. What? I don't
Yes,
even remember.
loaded
They
potato
don't sell
grillers.
anymore. Yes,
The loaded
there you go.
potato grillers.
Mm,
Boom.
yeah.
Those were so good.
Gotcha.
I do like the potato fiesta bowls. Those are pretty good. Actually, last time I went, I ordered a fiesta bowl, and the lady put, it was like some power veggie bowl. I saw it on the screen, so I pulled up to the window and I was like, "Hey, I got a fiesta bowl, not a potato bowl." And she just ended up adding both of them to my
Yeah.
order. And
Dude.
and I told her, I was like, "Hey, I told you, I just need the potato bowl. Like, you can take the other one off." So she took it out of the bag, but didn't take it off my order. was pretty pissed about that. So I started going to the one like farther across town. So I was like, I'm not dealing with that shit anymore, man. Like that's just ridiculous.
Too much.
The other one across town's a lot cleaner. Like the one near me is kind of a mess, like Freckle was talking about. So yeah, I really have to travel for it if I want it, but I do love me some Taco Bell, and I've decided now that we've had this discussion, I'm going tonight after we finish this up.
Let's go.
Oh my
Hell yeah,
god!
dude.
Wait,
They're the
They're
only
open
place
till-
around here that's open till like 3 a.m.
Yep, this is usually
yeah,
how it
it's
is.
it closes at
true.
for me,
Open late. Open
it's
late.
3 a.m. Open late if the bell is on. All right. I would just like to take a moment to attack Taco Bell corporate. If any of you guys are big Redditors, I highly suggest you follow the Taco Bell subreddit. There are a lot of opinionated people that eat Taco Bell on the regular, most of them being vegans or vegetarians who are very upset that the menu have changed. However, they have now launched a value menu. The dollar menu is gone. The value menu is here. And one item on the value menu is a cheese quesadilla mini. And I'll let you know, for $2.99, that cheese quesadilla mini will fill you up. It is phenomenal. And they want you to buy the drink. They want you to get a combo. Do not listen to them. Go to the value menu.
Yeah.
Buy the cheese quesadilla melts. Buy 3 of them. And then drink your own water at home. And you'll eat like a king for 2 days. Don't play the game. Don't get the combo. The only time you should get the combo is the $5.99 Chalupas Supreme combos. So I highly suggest all of you download, update Taco Bell. Don't let them win. We have the information. Don't let them win. Don't buy free cheesy gordita crunches because it sounds good. No. You buy the combo. You get your free cheesy gordita crunch, and you get 2 items from value menu, or else you're getting fucked.
Okay, Charles.
So,
There's
that is my
no
Taco Bell
shot you're
experience.
going into a Taco Bell and coming out without a Baja Blast. I'm not having water at home.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? What are you talking about, Charles?
No. Wait, so are we?
Nectar.
What team are we? Are we frozen or standard?
Standard. What do you mean frozen?
Frozen's
is
not bad.
frozen?
You can get a
Frozen is
frozen.
50% water.
50% ice.
Okay. Also, Charles, you can get the $5 box, and it comes with a drink, an entree, a side, and a dessert for $5. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Paul-
Value menu.
I'll remind you that price varies by region. So whatever you got ain't what I got.
Okay. Well.
So the best man win. That's all I got. I'm done. Austin.
Got the mic. Yeah, Taco Bell is really good, like, dollar per calorie ratio as well. I just wanted to add, like, it's got, like, it's pretty optimal. And if you are a cheesy roll-up fan, you should ask for cheesy roll-ups with fries, because it's really good. They, like, they, like, grab the nacho fries, and they, like, put them inside of the cheesy roll-up.
Oh.
And it's good. It like adds like a little bit of crunch to it.
Sounds good.
Also, if you want to experiment with drinks, I know Baja Blast is like fan favorite, but I'm a big fan of the Mango Fiesta.
Oh yeah, that's
I think
my
it's
that's my
really good.
second go to.
That's underrated.
Yeah. I think that's all. Oh, also the picture of Etymology drinking the Baja Blast. That's really iconic.
I love that.
Perfect.
To talk further about this for a second, wasn't there a bar that was like, or like
Dude,
Taco Bell that was
I
serving
was
alcohol
about to
with
say-
this?
There is.
Yeah.
They have one. I was gonna say we can't
So
wrap this up without talking about that. We have one right by my work. I've gone once, and my Baja Blast was so watery, bro. But it was like $20 too. I was like, "Are you fucking joking, brother?" Like, there's just no shot. But I took that.
Brother.
So DJ, I went to the Times Square, New York location of this restaurant. It's called Taco Bell Cantina.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went, and it's $10 on top of the price of any drink you get. So if you want a Baja Blast with vodka or tequila, $10 extra. You're paying $14 for a drink, and it's not sophisticated at all. It's a terrible experience. So Taco Bell Cantina, figure it out.
I also did what
Yeah,
Charles
they got one on
says.
Broadway in Nashville.
Yeah.
I also did what Charles said. I've also been to that exact Taco Bell, and I had a great experience. So
You did? What did you get?
I got a Baja Blast with tequila.
How much?
I don't remember. I didn't care. It was the experience that mattered.
Yeah, you gotta do it once if you're a true Taco Bell fan, I guess.
Have my money and soul.
All right. Let's get on to the next question.
Oh, I did.
How
I
did the
did.
Keymaster win?
Keymaster, sorry.
No, you're good. I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell saved my life multiple times. You know, like party packs can last you like so many days. I just like, you know, Freck's like, oh, I'd rather get a taco from a real, you know, if a little old abuela, hunchback, she's like, oh, mijo, I'm gonna give you some carne asada tacos, okay? I just slap out of her hand, I'm gonna bite down on my Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, Crunchwrap Supremes are fucking goated.
I
was just giving it shit because I want to get
Fuck
something
is a
else.
hater.
Nah.
I
I mean, like,
Taco Bell.
it's definitely goated fucking fast food, for sure. But, yeah, I don't know.
I could run off Taco Bell for the rest of my life if I had to.
It's very hit or miss on location, like Pause has said. But like,
I
I'm up
agree
in
with that.
Canada, and
I agree.
I'm just gonna say it out there. You're gonna find a lot more bad ones here than you are gonna find good ones.
We tried to go in Canada, and it, for some reason,
Didn't even work.
it
out.
wasn't even open, even though it said it was open. So
All right. That being said, Takura asked, the RS forums have closed. Will they be missed? Which official fan site forums were you active on? I'll begin on this question. I'll be pretty quick. RS forums are for losers. Like, let's be honest. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but like, if you weren't on Tippet, if you weren't on Sal's, if you weren't on Reddit, like, you're just in the wrong spot. So I'll pass it off to Keymasher.
I only ever used the official RuneScape forums one time, and that was like to apply to a clan, and that was the only time I ever used it ever again. Would they be missed? I mean, for, you know, I guess so. I mean, a lot of, you know, things have been posted on those forums over the years, and I'm sure people would, you know, like, are they like actually gone? Is there like an archive of them at all? Anyone know? Does anyone know?
They will exist archived, but there will be no new content.
Okay, so at least, I mean, I guess there's that. You know, people can at least look back, but, you know, with the advent of like Discord and everything, like, there's not really much of a need for them anymore. And even like growing up playing RuneScape, I never really used any forums or fan sites, so I don't really have any like particular attachment to any of them. So
oh, my turn.
Pause.
Yeah, so I've only used it to apply to clans, Hexus and Solus, I think, maybe, and never used it again. But yeah, Twitter is amazing for RuneScape communication and such. Other than appeals, I don't think appeals should be on Twitter. I think they should have their own like platform for that sort of thing. And I think it's really incredibly stupid that it's Twitter and Reddit exclusively to appeal your account bans. So, yep.
Makes sense. Ricky?
Yeah, so I'm really surprised that no one brought this up before me, especially Pause. but the free-to-play icon is based off of the non-existent profile picture on the forums.
No, it's
The
on the high
forums,
scores.
yeah.
That's where I got it from. The high scores.
Oh,
Oh,
Forums
interesting,
too.
because it originated from
Oh.
that of forums.
Didn't even
the
know
Iron
that.
Medhelm. The Iron Medhelm. Yeah, it was.
So-
Frick. I remember.
Yeah,
Charles
I mean,
remembers.
you just go on, and if you don't have a profile picture, that's what it is. And Temple itself, if you have a party hat or some rare in RS3, you could go and take a picture of yourself if you're pay to play, and that would in turn change your forum icon, which ultimately would also change your Temple icon.
Couldn't you take a picture like a photo booth or something?
Yeah, that's where you go, and the photo booth is pay to play. So that was kind of another side of it, just being the free to play icon, because there was no way that we could change ours.
You still do that.
And I'm curious to if that's going to go away, but now that it's said that obviously it's tied to the high scores as well, then obviously it's not going anywhere. But that was my first kind of a little bit upset point to it, that, you know, you're never going to use that icon from like a talking perspective point anymore, which is kind of odd. Like, you're never going to make a post on the forums where your cool rare that you're trying to show off in the first place is ever going to be present unless somebody directly looks you up on RS3 only high scores now, right? So like that's kind of a sad point, but at the same point, like, who the hell has used the forums in the last 5+ years for anything of actual value? So like, I don't really care that they're gone, but yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, that's where the icon really originated from, was the idea of the forums. But maybe it was high scores first and then it was forums, but I could have sworn it was always forums first.
Yeah, I never used the forums for anything except for applying to Solus when I was in that. But I actually, nobody mentioned Zybez. Was it Zybez? Would you even consider that a forum, or was that just a marketplace?
Yes.
So.
It was a
It
forum
was both.
as well.
Also Scythe too.
Oh yes, I too. Yeah, I used a lot of Zybez actually, but I guess now that the forums are gone, we could take the moderation that we had for that and maybe put it on to some more appeal moderation, so we can work on these false bans. I don't know.
I can even recall this clans making their own forum sites all the time back in the day as well.
Yep.
Yes.
TFS.
Like if you were, TFS had its
IRC's
own.
TFS.
If you were a skiller as well, you'd end up going into like there was like FOE or Mayhem.
Just get 5 level
whatever.
70s, Freck. You're
Like,
good to go. 5
these-
level 70s.
Those were the times. Just having clan forums and stuff, it brings back some memories.
And what's funny, Freck, is a lot of them are still posted, so you can dig through the old clan post.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
Neat.
OG content.
Yeah, I never used
Right.
the forums, but I hope that the photo booth, even in its like, I've heard that it's pretty broken. Like it doesn't update you like consistently at all. But I hope that even in its dilapidated state, it remains intact despite the closure.
And one final shout out this section. Shout out to Sal's Realm. I don't know how many of you guys did Quest in the early days of OSRS. Or sorry, for the RuneScape, but Sal's Realm had an incredibly engaging community. They actually had quest guides, and they were one of the first services to offer quest guides with the comments section. And most of the issues were resolved there. So
I was
I don't know
always
how
a
many of you guys
Tippet
use
guy.
Sal's Realm. You're a Tippet guy?
Yeah, I was always a Tippett guy back at that point. And it also was a strong point for players that played like really odd RuneScape accounts would post their things on Tippett as well. I think, I don't know if anybody remembers the account Slayer Bell, but like did untrimmed Slayer and then eventually just normal account, but the way that you had to go about it was really odd. Like you'd have to canon a certain portion of it, and then they also did an account that was just Slayer Bell backwards. That was like a 10 HP Slayer account, and like they documented every single thing they did on their account in this forum post, and it was just neat to see the kind of storylines of people's accounts back then. That's one thing I can really remember.
So shout out to the odd ones, shout out to the innovators and the creators, and shout out to Pre-Searing, the last question of the podcast, officially. They say, I don't really know anything about the historic part of free-to-play. I hear some names are thrown around, especially Syzygy, but I don't really know what they're known for. Who were the most well-known free-to-play players of old, and what did they do to be known, and how did they inspire all of y'all? What a great question to end on. And DJ, let's start.
Honestly, horrible person to start with, because I really don't know. I don't know much about like the OG free-to-play players. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I've heard their names. I know they were beasts, but I don't know. I'm not, and not to sound like fanboy, honestly, I was truly inspired by Pause and Autumn Elegy, seeing their videos. So that's how I got into it. Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right. If we're talking like real old school kind of stuff, here's some names like Syzygy. Don't really know what they're known for. So Syzygy was the first individual in free to play. This is like pre-EOC, so this is not old school RuneScape, but they were the first to max free to play. Some other players that ended up being quite good were players like S Diamond Y, who held rank 1 free to play for a good portion there back when I was playing. Another one, I think her sister's name was D Sweetheart. Talked to her quite a bit back when. I'm sure all of those people that said they were girls in the free to play community were just dudes, but whatever. What was the other individuals that were really good back then? There was Pytha. That was a player that got 200 mil range first. They did it Ice Giants. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just call it Pytha, whatever. There was Riex. I don't know how to actually say that name, but it was Riexiex, and it was 3 spaces between the first word and 2 spaces between the second word. So really odd RSN. They were a level 3 skiller with a lot of RC XP. It was a pretty neat account. And then I'm going to give a shout out to Gotta Hate STDs, because he taught me how to do the Great Orb Project very well. So doing like co-ord Great Orb Project was probably some of the most fun pre-EOC times that I can remember.
Yeah. Wait, am I next? No, I'm not.
No, how dare you actually pause. It's incredibly insulting. So I'd like to talk about a few of the people in a clan called Total Free to Play Skillers, and actually, Pause, you're included in that list. So I'd like to shout out some OGs. We have James B. Backwards, aka BS Maj. We have Shermer Horn. We have Redefinition. We have Part, and we have Pause. These were all people that were crazy enough to stick to free to play right before EOC and get incredible goals done. People that were in total free play scores for 4, 6, almost 10 years for some players. So shouts out to them. I remember the requirements being 5 level 70s and I'd always have to do the Bibles. But shout out to Total Free Play Skillers. You guys set the benchmarks. What later became the advanced skilling community, and we're glad to be here today. And now with pause, charge, and everything, how nice is it to have a beginner member that now speak after me about the current state of the game?
I wanted to say
pause?
one other quick TFS situation of a player to
Oh,
shout out.
who you got?
as well.
Who you got?
Log on Beach was a very old TFS player. This would
Sounds
have been
familiar.
long before
Wow.
players would have played that. But Gotta Hate STDs was also in that clan as well. Almost everybody I mentioned was part of TFS at some point.
The number one for us three.
I really don't know anything about pre-EOC free-to-play. I just want to bring up this is OSRS, but like, what is like the disciple lore? Like, is the one that's like off in the wilderness, like eating like raw meat?
I've heard so many different stories about Disciple that I don't even know.
Let's not get into
but
it.
I think Pause told me a real bad one at one point.
No, yeah, I was told something even worse recently. I don't really want to talk about it right now, but
I was there for it. And, yeah,
Can we talk about it after the recording?
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, sick.
So, as a free-to-play organizer, we were going to skip any Disney topics. No Disney allowed on the podcast, and we will head to the next contributor to this conversation, which is Keith Asher.
It's hard for me to say because I'm pretty new to the free-to-play scene, and like even back then, like I knew there was a free-to-play scene, but I never really looked into it enough for me to know names of players and stuff. Like, I don't know, like I remember, like the only, I guess the oldest free-to-player I can think of was Yuri. Shout out Yuri, wherever you are. Best method, you made the best method in the game. Shout out to you. But then kind of after that, like next person I could think of would be Oz. Like I remember like watching your videos when you were still doing mining, like barely like hitting 50 mil at the time, however many years ago, and that was kind of like the first real introduction for me to get into free to play. And so yeah, shout out to you, Pause.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is where we
All
kiss.
So, kiss sequence.
The raffle
So-
winner.
One lucky subscriber will be able to. No kidding. All right. This is the official end of the in-house and community questions. I would like to open the floor to our favorite repeat question during the podcast, which is, what have y'all been doing during the podcast? I'd like to start with Keith Asher and follow the order from the question above.
In opposite order?
In backwards or forward? What do you mean?
Normal order. Sorry, I'll paste it there. But yeah, normal order.
What I've been doing this podcast, I've just been nothing. I was doing alt running Addy plates, but then I just was like, you know what, Rune 2H sound nice, so that's kind of just what I've been doing this entire time.
Do I really need to answer this question? The people watching the video have seen what I've been doing the whole time.
It doesn't matter. You got pause. Think about accessibility, audience.
Oh my god, stop it. Well, I guess that's true.
What if they don't know what you're doing?
Accessibility. It's accessibility.
They might be looking at this and being like, what is this Fortnite thing he's doing right now?
AFK Willows.
Is he jumping on Twin Towers?
Yeah, you're playing Fortnite Forestry.
Me and DJ are both chopping trees right here.
So pause, what have you been doing?
I've been AFKing Willows, and I've been doing forestry events when they arise. And sometimes clues.
Alright. Okay, Frankie?
I've been being a giant nerd and doing prayer while simultaneously doing combat.
You mean projects?
No. No. Very, very sweaty, nerdy prayer and combat. So, yeah.
Finals.
Moss Giants.
All right. DJ?
I've been standing here next to Paws, chopping willows. I'm usually at the U's, but figure I'd come over here and somebody staring at the screen. Honestly, like these days, I've been playing a lot of the new COD, so like that's why I've been at U's because grinding the shit out of that. I don't know why I like it so much. I just like the MW2 maps, so it's
So terminal
Just
best map,
another-
yeah.
yeah. I love Terminal. I love
What's the
competitive
one of
on that
the dude? What's the one of like was it Container or something? Where it's like those containers in the desert or something? Rust.
After
Oh yeah. Rust is good.
Oh,
Rust is okay. I don't
small
know.
map.
This is small and you can get a
Yeah.
ton of kills.
The
but, yeah, I
typical
like Terminal.
1v1 quick scoping map.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Good time.
All right, Halson.
Odd
Halson, what do you
podcast.
think?
I
We've been
have
doing-
been doing solo RC and alts.
Wow.
Big.
All right, we've got a few more things to run through. So, I've not mentioned it in this podcast, but Jagex, if you want your community to grow and you want to actually create a great game, I've said this for about, Frank, what is this, 4 years now? I swear to
Probably.
God, make a local voice integration for Discord where players in the same chunk can choose to voice with themselves. If you create this, you'll create a social landscape with a good game, unlike many other platforms. Most other social platforms for communications do not have a good game driving interaction. If you allow RuneScape voice communications via chunks, you'll have an incredible integration. It is not hard, Jagex. Simply integrate Discord of certain coordinates in mind for a 50 to 70 square tile radius. Please, God, integrate this, or else I'll buy your company, integrate this myself afterwards to grow our net profitability quickly.
Just a small
is-
fee
that's
of
my
$1 billion.
Yeah.
The amount of
Uh,
slitters
So Jagex,
that would be.
no. Hey, how many of you guys would like to hear what World 1 GE sounds like?
I was about to say,
Not at all.
that
No, never.
Not at all.
It's just Steve and Mike spamming into the.
Stevens.
Oh my god.
Fortnite.
Dude,
Um,
those
Lobby.
Stevens are
You know what?
crazy. Someone at you said spam DJ9, and I literally got like 200 trades in 2 seconds, and they were following me. It was crazy,
Oh,
dude.
no.
I had to block them all.
So,
Yeah.
when
I don't-
when we
I
make
don't know
enough
how
money, we'll
well.
buy Jagex.
I don't know how well voice integration really would work with free to play. Or not free
Local,
to play, but
local.
just RuneScape in general. No, local as well. Like, I mean, can anybody remember Modern Warfare 2 lobbies? You really think somebody on RuneScape's not just gonna like decide dropping some horrible obscenities all the time?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like,
Yeah.
there's no
Phantom.
shot.
Adam,
If you have
There's no
read the
shot.
public chat at 301 Willows, you know what it would be like.
Just demon speak over there.
You just get a headache in 2 seconds and you turn it off.
they're not humans. Well,
If you want
As
to
much as
jump
you
in
guys shit on my
Discord,
idea.
you join. If you want to jump in Discord and be in a voice call, come to free to play.
yeah, come to free to play CC, get those voice points.
There should be
Those voice points that add up.
a button or something. Join free to play Discord in game. There we go.
Yeah, it should be. You know what? And pause. Do you want to roll through the meme questions, or we go?
I mean, you can if you want.
Let's roll. So this is open to the forum. Hart asks, "How much is the fish?"
What does that even mean?
All right, we don't have to answer this. Just keep going through them. Keep going. Keep going.
All right. Key Bafter asks, "Are you Team Yippee or Team Yahoo?"
No. Wahoo. Wahoo. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Wahoo!
Any
Honestly-
Wahooers in the chat? Let's go.
Wahoo is outdated and horrible. If you aren't yipping, there's something seriously wrong with you.
What?
You're canceled.
I just feel like Wahoo sounds like you're in Mario.
Mario. Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Why is
And-
there?
Wow!
I'm
Yeah,
trying to think
How
of.
dare you?
Like, I think both of them are terrible.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow!
Team Yippee in shambles right now.
Team Wahoo is
What?
just down.
But yeah, you're just both down
All right.
bad.
Next question. Should Pause ask, should EHP be renamed to EP?
Yes, hard cosign.
Yes. We've been saying this.
EP. Yes.
What is this at the
I'm
bottom?
even.
Stop. One moment.
Anonymous
So-
elephant.
The final question is, in the past, we've had some successful charity streams. The free-to-play community has raised over $2,400 for the last 2 years for children's cancer research. I'd be interested in hearing from all of you. Do you guys believe we should have a charity stream this year? If so, when?
I'm down.
Yes and yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was gonna say no.
no, no more money for children.
They don't deserve money.
No. No. And also, what should we do? Because I've streamed myself trying to get 1 mil in free to play. Swifty Bud has streamed himself trying to level his account. So it's like, what should we be doing in game? Because we've raised the money, but we're terrible at the game.
I think we should have a wheel that we spin, and it decides what we do.
Right. I agree.
No. You're not
It's
putting
got all-
clues on that freaking wheel, so I have to go do clues. That ain't happening, man.
It's for the children.
Dude, for the kids. For the kids.
We're gonna give them all the dirty
What if it's
GP
like-
and
what if
convert it
it's
to
like-
real money, allegedly.
Get
What if
free
it's
to
like
play.
Charles will donate $500 if Frecky does his first clue?
Jeez. Frank
That
said
was terrible.
something rude in
I'm
chat.
joking, obviously.
Oh my God. So
yeah, I ain't doing
All right.
clues.
Well, that
so it's
sounds
gotta
like
be
it's on
it's
the
gotta be
table.
skilling related. Nothing.
$1,000 for the children to do a beginner clue scroll.
How much
Is
for
anyone in here actively
right, well-
doing clues?
Pause.
pause is?
Pause.
Well, yeah, me
Yeah,
too. I just didn't know if I was the only one.
You're not the only one. All right. So, all that being said, we have had a phenomenal podcast. Thank you for everybody who submitted questions. I'll now pass the floor to Pause to chime in, and I'll take my rest. Pause, what do you think?
I think the podcast is over. So we will all say goodbye, and we'll be back for episode number 12 in the future. So take care, everyone. Have a nice day. Everyone say bye.
Peace.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
podcast.
Shout out Feral 2 if you know. Shout out F2.
Shout out Cockapoo for you, everyone else.
Shout out to the band guys.
Alrighty, goodbye.
All right. Everybody got the Google Doc open, so you know what.
No, I think I'll just wing it.
It's swing it.
Freestyle.
Just ask Charles to repeat himself every so often.
A few hundred times.
Guess we could just. Hey, I guess we always just wrap the podcast up with that question.
Oh, we're rapping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Key basher, key smasher. Sorry.
Dasher,
True.
Lasher.
Boxing.
Hash slinging.
Slasher. Just gonna ad lib off each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody!
Yeah.
What?
What? Okay.
Little John.